It was just another late night bus ride for Sarah. She worked long hours at a 24-hour diner, and the bus was always the same, cold, dimly lit, with a few quiet passengers scattered around. But tonight, something felt different. When she boarded, there was a man sitting near the back, alone. He wore a long coat and a wide-brimmed hat that shadowed his face, hiding any expression. Sarah chose a seat near the front, trying to ignore him. But there was an odd feeling in the air, like the world outside the bus had stopped moving. The bus started down the same route as always, but tonight it didn't feel right. The hum of the engine was oddly muffled, and the lights flickered more than usual. Sarah glanced out the window, but the city she knew was gone. Instead of familiar streets, she saw dark, endless fields stretching in every direction. Her heart began to race. She turned to the driver to ask what was happening, but he wasn't there. The seat was empty, the wheel unmoving. Panic crept in as she stood up, rushing toward the front. But as she did, the man in the back seat slowly raised his head. His face was pale, as though it had never seen the light of day. His eyes were black pits, wide and hollow. They stared at her and blinking, with a cold emptiness that sent a chill crawling down her spine. His lips didn't move, but she could hear his voice in her head. Clear and cold, "You shouldn't have gotten on." Sarah froze, her breath caught in her throat. The bus didn't slow. It didn't stop. It just drifted forward through the void. She stumbled back, falling into her seat. The doors were locked. The windows, though clear, led only to darkness. There was no way out. The man slowly stood, his movements unnaturally stiff, like a puppet on invisible strings. He started walking toward her. Her pulse pounded in her ears as she pressed her back into the seat, trembling. The man reached her, standing just inches away. He bent down, his cold breath on her face, and whispered, "Next stop, no, where?" Suddenly, the lights went out. The bus screeched to a halt, throwing Sarah forward. When she opened her eyes, the bus was empty. She was the only one left. But she was not alone. The empty fields outside the window were now filled with figures countless, staring eyes watching her in silence. A voice came again, not from the man, but from everywhere, from nowhere. "You should have never left the diner."